strawberry, blueberry, I see it growing on the ground.
Hello everyone, my name is Astrid Keisha Almira Jasmine and I'm from Group 3. Today I'm going to explain the basic concept of what an affix is in morphology. So let's get started. When we study morphology, one of the most important terms we meet is the word morpheme. A morpheme is the smallest unit of language that carries meaning. Some morphemes can stand alone as words, and we call them free morphemes. For example, words like hat, book, or ride are complete words by themselves. But some morphemes cannot stand alone. They always need to attach to another word. These are called bound morphemes. Now, one special type of bound morpheme is what we call an affix. So, what exactly is an affix? An affix is a bound morpheme that attaches to a base, either a root or a stem, to create a new word or a new form of a word. For example, in the word unhappy, the part happy is the base, and on is the affix that attaches to it. And happiness, the base is still happy, and the ending ness is the affix. Without these bases, the affixes on and ness cannot stand alone as words. Affixes usually appear in different positions relative to the base. If the affix comes before the base, like on and unwise, it is called a prefix. If it comes after the base, like ish in reddish, it is called a suffix. There are also other types such as infixes and circumfixes, but the most familiar ones in English are prefixes and suffixes. The role of affixes is quite different from bound bases like ology or itis. For example, ology means the study of, as in biology, and itis means disease, as in arthritis. These carry more substantial meaning, while affixes like on or ness are more grammatical and general. This is why linguists make a clear distinction. Affixes are bound morphemes that specifically function to modify or form words by attaching to bases. Remember, an affix is a bound morpheme. It cannot stand alone. It attaches to a root or a stem, and by doing so, it will help you create new words or new forms of words. So, whenever you see words like unhappy, kindness, widow, or teacher, you are actually looking at the base plus an affix working together. That is the foundation of how affixation works in morphology. Thank you, and that is the explanation from me.
Hello everyone, my name is Awalul Hikmah Bahrudin. Now, let's talk about derivational affixes in detail. A derivational affix is an affix that we attach to a base word to create a new lexeme, or in simple term, a completely new word with its own meaning. This is very important to understand. Derivational affixes are not just changing the form of a word, they are actually creating a new entry in the mental dictionary of language. That's why we say they are lexeme forming. Let's look at what derivational affixes can do. First, they can change the meaning of the base word. For example, kind becomes unkind. Here, the prefix on gives the opposite meaning. And another example, do becomes undo, which means to reverse the action. And the second, derivational affix can change the word class or the part of speech. The example is happy, it is an adjective, becomes happiness, it is a noun with the suffix ness. Beauty, noun, becomes beautiful with the suffix full. And modern, it is an adjective, becomes modernized with the suffix "ice." So you can see the derivational affixes are very powerful in creating words that belong to new grammatical categories. And third, they can do both at the same time. Change the class and change the meaning. Pure becomes purify and then purification. Hope becomes hopeless. And let's talk about where we find derivational affixes. They can be prefixes or suffixes. affixes come before the root, for example, pre in preview, dis in disagree, or re in rewrite. And suffixes come after the root, for example, man in agreement, shun in creation, ness in sadness. Unlike inflectional affixes, which are only suffixes in English, derivational affixes have both types. And let's consider productivity. Some derivational affixes are very productive, meaning they can be used freely with many base words. For example, the suffix ness can be added to a large number of adjectives to form nouns, kind, kindness, dark, darkness, and other are less productive, which mean they only attach to a limited set of words.
For example, the suffix hood works only in specific cases like childhood and brotherhood. We cannot say teacherhood or studenthood naturally.
And let's see why derivational affixes are important. They allow a language to expand its vocabulary without inventing completely new word from nothing. Imagine if we had to create a totally new, unrelated word every time we wanted to talk about a concept like sadness or happiness. It would be very hard to memorize so many words.
Instead, by using derivational affixes, we can recycle existing words to create new ones and speakers can still understand them easily.
Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Rizka Amalia Putri, and in this part, I will talk about inflectional affixes. Before we go deeper, let me remind you one more time, in English morphology, we have two kinds of affixes, derivational affixes and inflectional affixes. Derivational affixes make new words, while inflectional affixes only change the form of the word. Okay, so in this part, I will focus on inflectional affixes. Okay, so first, let's start with the definition. Inflectional affixes are endings that we add to a word to show grammar information. They do not change the basic meaning of the word, and they also do not change the word class. So, if the base word is a noun, it stays a noun. If the base word is a verb, it stays a verb. Inflection only gives extra information, such as whether something is plural, past tense, or in comparison. Second, let's see the characteristic of inflectional affixes. There are three main things you need to remember. The first one is inflectional affixes never change the part of speech. For example, a verb stays a verb. Number two, inflectional affixes only add grammatical meaning. This means they tell us about time, number, ownership, or degree. And number three, English only has a small set of inflectional affixes. So, the important thing is inflectional affixes do not create a new word. They only show different grammatical forms of the same word. Let me give you one clear example. Take the verb play. From this verb, we can make plays, playing, played, and also played as a past participle. All of these forms still come from the same verb play. The meaning of the word does not change, only the grammar changes. In conclusion, derivational affixes and inflectional affixes are different. Derivational affixes make new words and can change the word class. Inflectional affixes do not make new words. They only change the form of the word to fit grammar rules. That is all about inflectional affixes. Thank you for listening, and I hope this explanation is clear.
Alright, everyone. My name is Maisa, and now I'm going to explain about inflectional system in English. Inflectional affixes are endings that we add to words to show grammatical information like tense, number, possession, and comparison. The important thing is they do not change the basic meaning or the word class of a word. They just change the form. In English, we only have 8 inflectional affixes. The first one is s or us to make plural nouns. For example, cat become cats or box become boxes. The second one is apostrophe s, which shows possession. For example, the girl's book means the book belongs to the girl. The third one is also s, but this time it is used for verbs in the third person singular, like she sings or he runs. Next, we have ed as the past tense marker. For example, play becomes played. Then, another ed orient form that marks the past participle, like walked or eaten, usually used with have or in passive voice. We also have ing, which is used for present participle or progressive form. For example, swimming, cooking, or reading. Finally, we use and us for adjectives and adverbs. Shows comparison between two things, like taller or faster, while us shows the superlative, like the biggest or the smartest. So, to sum up, English has a very small inflectional system with only 8 affixes. S, apostrophe s for verbs, ed for past tense, ed or en for past participle, ing, and us. These endings help us show grammar like number, tense, possession, and comparison without changing the meaning of a word itself. I think that's all from me. Thank you for listening.
Everyone, my name is Zakinanda. Now I will to explain my materials, origin of inflectional affix and derivational affix. This table illustrates the following comparison. I will elaborate on the following table. The purpose of this table explanation is to provide an in-depth understanding of each feature being compared in the table. This ensures the audience not only sees the comparison but only understands why these comparisons are important and relevant. Number one, function. The purpose to delineate the primary role of each type of affix. For detail, for derivational affix, expound on how these affixes are used to create new words by changing the meaning or word class. For inflectional affix, elaborate on how these affixes add grammatical information without changing the basic meaning of the word. Number two, word change. The purpose to depict whether the affix can change the word class of the base word. Detail state the derivational affix can change the word class from a verb to a noun or from adjective to an adverb. Assert that inflectional affix do not change the word class. Number three, meaning. The purpose to illustrate how affix influence the meaning of the base word. For detail, derivational affix indicate these affix can alter or add meaning to the base word, often creating new words with different meanings. For inflectional affix, emphasize that these affix mark grammatical functions such as number, tenses, or position without changing the basic meaning of the word. Number 4. Example. Purpose to present concrete examples to clarify the difference between the two types of affix. For detail, provide example of words that use derivational and inflectional affix. Ensure the examples are relevant and easy to understand. Number 5. Obligation. The purpose to determine whether the use of the affix is mandatory or optional. For detail, state that the use of derivational affix is optional. A word without a derivational affix still has meaning. Mention that the use of inflectional affix is sometimes mandatory to meet grammatical rules. Number 6. Productivity. The purpose to gauge how often an affix can be used to form new words. For detail, derivational affixes are less productive because not all words can have derivational affix added. Inflectional affixes are highly productive because they can be applied to most words in the appropriate word class. Number 7. Position. The purpose to indicate the position of the affix relative to the root word and each other. For detail, derivational affixes are typically closer to the root word than inflectional affixes. Inflectional affixes are always in the outermost position of the word. Number 8. Meaning influence. The purpose to reveal how much the affix can change the meaning of the word. For detail, derivational affix can significantly change the meaning of a word, even creating new words with meanings very different from the base word. Inflectional affix do not change the basic meaning of the word. They only add grammatical nuances necessary for the sentence set context. Number 9. Number and English. The purpose to state the number of derivational and inflectional affixes in English. For detail, derivational affixes are numerous and varied depending on the word, class, and the meaning to be formed. Inflectional affixes are limited. There are only 8 inflectional affixes in English. The conclusion. Derivational and inflectional affixes play different roles in a word formation. Derivational affixes function to form new words by changing the meaning or word class, while inflectional affixes function to add grammatical information without changing the basic meaning or a word class. Understanding this difference is important for morphological and syntactic analysis in English. Thank you.